Greetings, everyone. My name is Rejoice, and I awesomely welcome you back to my channel. Today, I will be talking about menstruation, and it is gonna be a pure diagnostic of what menstruation is all about. So, let's get started. Menstruation simply implies the discharge of blood from the inner lining of the uterus through the vagina. Menstruation is characterized by the rising and falling of the hormones. In menstruation, it is also accompanied by both the physical and emotional symptoms of menstruation, such as cramps, headache, bloatiness, breast tenderness, and so many of them. Now, what are the signs and symptoms of menstruation? In menstruation, it is accompanied by both the physical and emotional symptoms. So, let's now talk about the physical symptoms of menstruation. It includes cramps. When you are experiencing a rapid pain or itching at the lower abdomen, this is a sign of physical symptoms of menstruation. Another is bloating. When you are having feeling of fullness or swollen of the abdomen. Another is breast tenderness. When you are experiencing soreness or pain at just a touch of your breast. Another is headache. When you are experiencing severe or mild headache, this is also a physical symptom of menstruation. Another is acne. When there is a breakthrough of pimples all over your face, this is also a physical symptom of menstruation. Another is change in bowel movements. You begin to experience constipation or diarrhea ahead of this. And another is fluid retention. When you begin to gain some weight as a result of excessive fluid in your body. Haven't been able to outline the examples or the physical symptoms of menstruation, let's now talk about the emotional symptoms of menstruation. Number one is mood swinging. When you are experiencing a rapid change of mood, such as irritability, such as sadness, and such as anxiety. Another one is food craving. When you are having a strong desire for some certain meal. Number three is sleep disruption. When you find it so difficult to fall asleep or to stay asleep. Another is inability to concentrate on a thing, or you can also call it lack of focus. You cannot just pay attention to a certain task because of this. And another is irritability. Okay, being overwhelmed and feeling worried, always becoming worried. Another is depression, feeling sad. Okay, you become sad, you are feeling hopeless, and you just want to be alone. Alright? Okay, we have been able to differentiate the difference between the physical symptom of menstruation and the emotional symptom of menstruation. Now, let's talk about the 4 phases of menstrual cycle. Number one is the menstruation phase, which is from day 1 to 5. In this phase, the uterine lining sheds blood, and this is because there was no pregnancy. Pregnancy didn't occur, and an egg wasn't fertilized as well. And when this happens, it will now lead to menstruation. Okay? Another is the follicle stage, which begins from day 6 to 13. At this stage, the uterine lining begins to thicken up and it begins to rebuild again. And then the follicles and the ovaries now preparing for an egg to be fertilized. Another is ovulation, which is day 14. After the uterine lining has thickened and has rebuilded, at the middle of your cycle, an egg is formed, and this egg travels down to the fallopian tube for a potential fertilization of an egg. And the last one is the luteal phase, which begins from day 15 to 28. At this stage, the primary progesterone further prepares the uterine lining for a potential pregnancy. And when pregnancy fails to occur at this stage, it now restarts again and becomes menstruation. Now let's get into the big question here. Why you are always experiencing irregular menstruation? Or why do my menses or menstruation usually change? They are not constant. So let's talk about it. In menstruation, irregular menses can stem up by various causes. It could be as a result of hormonal fluctuation. It could be as a result of lifestyle, some certain health condition, and some certain medications. So let's discuss the lifestyle. The lifestyle are actually those things that you are practicing or you are doing that aren't beneficial to your health. Number one is excessive weight gain. When there is a significant weight gain, it can disrupt your menstruation. Another one is excessive exercise. When there is an intense or prolonged exercise, this can disrupt your menstruation. Okay? Another one is stress. Both physical and emotional stress can disrupt your menstruation. Another one is diet disorder. Another is certain medications like birth control pills, steroid, and anticoagulants. All this can disrupt your menstruation. Haven't been able to talk about the lifestyles that affect or disrupt your menstruation. Let's talk about some of the health conditions that can actually disrupt your menses. Number one is infection, like pelvic inflammatory disease. That is a disorder to the reproductive organ. This can disrupt your menstruation. Another one is breastfeeding. Breastfeeding can temporarily disrupt your menstruation. Okay. and another is uterine fibroid. Another is blood disorder like leukemia, like platelets, like clotting factors. All this can disrupt your menstruation. And another is POF, premature ovarian failure. This actually means when your egg stops functioning before the age of 14. Okay, let's talk about the hormonal fluctuations that also causes irregular menstruation. Number one is puberty and menopause. Another is thyroid disorder. Another is also high protein, high prolactin level. Lest I forget, there's been this question on why the boys doesn't experience menstruation. Oh my God, I got you guys on this. Now here are the reasons why. The boys doesn't experience menstruation because they were not born with the uterus and the ovaries, which are the organs responsible for menstruation. It simply means they don't have uterus and they don't have ovaries. And this uterus and the ovary are the organ responsible for menstruation. However, these boys usually experience some hormonal changes, which can sometimes affect their mood, and it will end up leading to mood swinging, irritability, discomfort, and all of that. Thank you so much for listening, and I so much concur with my instincts that this information is going to alleviate the hearts of many that are going to come across this video. Thank you so much for watching, and may God bless you. And please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in my next video. Bye.